Good morning and welcome to After Shakers. And today you find me at Dodwood Car Park for part 3 of my whistle-stop tour of the Northern Fells. And today's walk is bookended by two dinky little low-lying fells with some nice solid meatiness in the middle. I'm going to start with a stroll up to Skiddaw Dodd on the way to Carlside. From Carlside I'm going to head out along Lonscale Fell to Ullock Pike before retracing my steps to head up the big daddy of the Northern Fells, Skiddaw. From Skiddaw I'm going to head down across Skiddaw Little Man to Lonscale Fell. From there I'm going to descend to Little Latrigg before finishing in Keswick town centre. It's a bit of a linear walk today rather than a circular one. I caught the bus here from Keswick, which saved about 2 or 3 miles on the walk, which means it's just going to be just under 12 miles I think today. And it has been about a 25-degree heat wave all week, so naturally last night there was a big storm. Luckily it's all blown over now, so hopefully should get some nice clear summits, or it might be a bit windy up on the tops. Anyway, let's get going. Right, I've come what appears to be the wrong way. This is what you get when trying to be clever and plot the direct route instead of following the sensibly dry, clearly marked Summit Dodd Trail. However, what a view. This is Bassenthwaite. On my plotting website as a path basically wasn't for the most part. However, it has led me to Dodd, Skiddaw Dodd, 1,612 feet. This is Wainwright, number 13 of book 5, and well, as you can see the climb was well worth it. Beautiful views of Derwent Water to the south, Bassenthwaite to the Wainwright says, Dodd, like Latrigg, can be described as a whelp of Skiddaw, crouched at the feet of his parents. But Dodd has latterly shown nothing of the family characteristics, and the old man must today regard his offspring with surprise and growing doubt, and feel like denying his paternity and disowning the little wretch. Skiddaw is a high, bare, rangy mountain open to the winds of heaven. Dodd is stunted, and in the course of recent years has become clothed from tip to toe and on all sides by a growth of trees so luxurious that scarcely any part of the original appearance of the fell remains in view. Skiddaw is Lakeland through and through, one of the respected dignities of the district, absolutely true blue. Dodd would seem more place in the dense and steaming jungles of the Amazon. Right, onwards and upwards into that bank of cloud, which I will roll on past by the time I get up there. Well, this way I'm coming down from Dodd is the alternative way, the sensible way up it. It's quite a bit drier than the way I actually went up, but it's a fair bit more boring, you have to say. At least I got some spectacular views on my climb. Right, this is where things get serious. This is the start of the climb up to Carside. From Carside, I'll head out along the ridge, across Lonscale to Ullock Pike, which are all looking just about clear at the moment. However, Skiddaw is a good couple of hundred metres higher up still, and that is looking pretty invisible at the moment. This is marked on the map as white stones. I wonder why they called it that. That was a bit of a long, slow drag, but it's brought me to Wainwright number 14 of the Northern Fells. This is Carside, 2,420 feet approximately. Wainwright says the view from the cairn, beautiful though it is to the south, suffers from a broad and uninteresting foreground. Every view is enhanced by the sharp falling away. Right, it's not looking promising for this afternoon. It's very windy, and that is Skiddaw just to my right there, and it's, well, completely obscured. Hopefully by the time I've been out along this ridge and back, it might have just cleared up a bit. As I was saying, that was Carside, 2,420 feet approximately, Wainwright number 14 of the Northern Fells. It was very windy on that summit. Found a nice sheltered nook to have a quick break. Behind, as I was also saying, and also drowned up by the wind, that is Skiddaw, and it's pretty invisible at the moment. Hoping that's going to clear. Just halfway up one side already. It's a very short ridge just out to Ullock Pike and back again. Yeah, hopefully the wind's going to die down. Irish Wainwright number 14, now we get to Wainwright number 15, oh, book 5. This is Longside, 2,405 feet. The highest point on the lofty, steep-sided ridge rising between Bassenthwaite Lake and the hidden valley of Southernndale is a small and shapely pyramid, delicately poised above a rough, shadowed declivity. The summit itself is strictly nameless, Longside proper being the broad, heathery flank overlooking Bassenthwaite Lake below. This wind really is playing silly buggers. Every time it drops, I get the camera out to film something, and then the wind immediately picks up again. It doesn't matter, because I've got some stunning views over Bassenthwaite from here. I reached Wainwright number 16 of book 5. It's Ullock Pike, 1,230 feet. Southeast of Bassenthwaite village, pleasant pastures rise to form the top of Tickle, wide shoulder of rough fell, and this in turn runs south and climbs as a narrowing ridge to a dark and symmetrical peak. The ridge, curved like a bow, is known as the Edge, and the dark peak is Ullock Pike. Truth be told, there's not actually much to the summit itself. I really realise you're actually on the summit other than the fact it immediately goes downhill. But what a spectacular view north over Bassenthwaite towards the Solway Firth. Can't quite see Scotland beyond today. The good news is you can just about see the top of Skiddaw now, so I'm going to hurry back along the ridge, try and get up there before it clouds over again. Right, back over Longside, just skirting around the coastside, and it's time for the biggie for today. And I can see it. Excellent. Looks pretty steep. Is the highest point of the Northern Fells, 3,053 feet. This is Skiddaw, and that was a tough climb. The path was basically just loose stones all the way up. There wasn't much grip, and when it zigzagged into the wind it was basically trying to blow you back off the mountain. Well, that was nothing compared to the summit ridge. The wind up here is like nothing I've ever experienced. It's absolutely hurricane-like, even in this shelter. Make no mistake about Skiddaw. Heed not the disparaging criticisms that have been written from time to time, often by learned men who ought to have known better about this grand old mountain. It is an easy climb, yes. Its slopes are smooth and grassy, yes. It has no frightful precipices, no rugged outcrops, agreed. It offers nothing of interest or entertainment to rock gymnasts. read. If these are failings, they must be conceded. But are they not quite minor failings? Are they failings at all? Skiddaw is the 4th highest peak in Lakeland, and but little lower than the highest, Pike. It is the oldest mountain in the district, according to the evidence of its rocks. Definitely not the most impressive in appearance, but certainly one of the noblest. The summit is buttressed magnificently by a circle of lesser heights, all of them members of the proud Skiddaw family, the whole forming a splendid and complete example of the structure of mountains, especially well seen from all directions because of its isolation. Oh, that's incredible. I just dropped about 20 feet off the summit ridge and the wind has just dropped completely. Absolutely insane. I've never experienced wind like that. Thankfully the cloud has sort of blown away to the east. Got a lovely view out towards Blencathra. Wasn't much commentary I could do of the views from the summit of Skiddaw though. As Wainwright was saying, it is a very easy descent up this side. And there is my next objective for the day. That's Little Man. Skiddaw's Little Man is situated fully 1 mile from its high man, and forms a distinctive peak summit with independent routes of ascent, commanding the most magnificent panoramic view of the heart and soul of Lakeland. The Little Man is so fine a mountain that it is less than justice that its name must forever acknowledge subservience to the parent Skiddaw. Briefly still then, listen until I started the camera. Either way, oh, it's so nice to be out of the wind. Yeah, the narration to camera from the top of those last 2 summits is going to be probably completely unusable. You're not going to be able to hear a damn thing I've said. Suffice to say, Skiddaw is high, Skiddaw Little Man is high but not quite as high, and you get some good views over Bastlewaite and Downwater, but not on a day when it's cloudy and the wind is trying to blow you back down into the valley. Right, 2 more fells left for today. Head out to Lonscale Fell first, and then finish on Pictorial Little Latrigg. I suspect Wainwright would disagree, but I kind of like Lonscale Fell. Reminds me more of the Peak District than the Lake District. A nice gentle grassy meander. Are you going to meander? Nice gentle grassy stroll. Right, I've just walked around the side of the summit of Lonscale Fell because It looks a little bit unmemorable. I wanted to check out this first, which is Lonscale Pike. And this is one. Wow. View. That's the country way down there, following the course of the Glen and on the other side, magnificent Blencathra. That was worth the detour. Right, Lonscale Fell, Latrigg, Keswick, in that order. And this, roughly, somewhere, is the summit of Lonscale Fell, 1,344 feet. It is Wainwright number 19 of book 5. Wainwright says, from the summit ridge of Skiddaw, the main watershed eastward switchbacks over the Little Man and Jenkin Hill to Lonscale Fell, this being the familiar outline so conspicuously in view on the southern approaches to Keswick. Lonscale Fell, a graceful and gentle curve against the sky, ends very abruptly in a sharp peak, which also features prominently in most views of the range, whence the ground falls away steeply to the deep narrow valley of Glen beyond rises Blencathra. All the interest of Lonscale Fell lies in its east face, a mile-long rough declivity out of character with the general structure of the fell, and unusual in an area where smooth crest slopes predominate. I believe that cairn was the highest point, but you couldn't really see anything from there. If you come down to this not cairn, you can see Derwentwater. And beyond, that's still mere beyond. Just had to look it up. Yeah, with Thelmere coming up the valley, 592, from down Ambleside Way. Right then, just Latrigg to go. It's a nice little valley, and right ahead is Latrigg, last fell of the day. Appears that this is it, the final fell of the day. Wainwright number 20 of book 5. This is Latrigg, 1,203 feet, or as it says on this cute little summit marker, 369 metres. Latrigg is to Keswick what Latrigg is to Ambleside and Helmcrag to Graspian. A small hill, an excellent viewpoint, a great favourite of local folk and visitors. Latrigg is pastoral and parkland in character, not a rough fell, and the summit is the easiest to promenade, so that this is not a climb calling for old clothes and heavy boots. The River Greta flows along the southern base, occupying a wooded gorge of outstanding scenic beauty, appreciated best on a railway journey between Keswick and Threlkeld. Well, that's a hark back to the past, because the railway journey between Keswick and Lonscale hasn't been possible for some 60 years, but you can now walk or cycle along the old rail track, so you should get a good view from there. Right, the actual summit marker is not the best viewpoint for Latrigg. That is further down this way. As you can see, when Derwent water comes into magnificent focus. Right, I think I'll just finish off the last of my lunch enjoying this view, because the end of the walk is not much more than a mile across the other side of the busy A66 down there. Right, I can hear the A66 very clearly now, which means I'm just about at the end of today's walk. And, well, it's an almost walk, I think. It should have been something quite special. There were glimpses of some epic views from various points, but what should have been the crowning glory was just a bit too much of a nightmare today. I have no idea what views I managed to capture from top of Skiddaw and Little Man. Didn't really get to see any views myself in between the cloud and trying not to be blown back down into the valley. I was trying to let the camera do the work, so hopefully it's picked up something. Other than that, yeah, it's been quite a nice walk today. It's only 12 miles, but because of that gale force wind on top of Skiddaw, it feels like a lot further than that. I'm quite weary now. So yeah, that's most of book 5 complete now. There's only a small handful of Northern Fells left to complete. So as ever, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and hope you join me again next time. Until then, bye for now.